Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Things Alvalade. It is currently 12 p.m. where I am, but unfortunately I've dragged Chris out of bed at 7 a.m. to join me on this watch along for the Europa League draw. First of all, Chris, how are you doing? I assume you're quite tired at the moment.
Yeah, it's a little early here on the East Coast, but it's also Friday, so it's almost a weekend. It's a long weekend here, as well. So you know what, exceptions can be made.
Yeah, and I'm of course Sam as well. We were supposed to have Danny, but I think the 7 a.m. start was a bit too much for him. He has the day off as well, so I don't blame him too much.
I
But
also think Danny was out late last night, which I was not. So
yeah,
definitely
so
helped.
so fair play to Danny. He could probably wake up and realize. But what we'll do, obviously, we can't show the actual draw here on the actual stream. But what we'll do is we'll have it on a separate screen. You can follow us, follow along with us, I suppose, and then we can go from there. But before the draw gets underway, Chris, is there any team that you sort of don't want or do want to draw in the Europa?
So I was actually looking at the pots before I went to bed last night. So honestly, I think that about half the teams in pot 3 and about half the teams in pot 4, or maybe less than half the teams in pot 4. There's a couple of teams in pot 3 that definitely are you'd want to avoid if you could.
Yeah.
Brighton for sure. Even Union, I'd probably want to avoid if I could. Freiburg, and then Mold or Molde. I'm not exactly sure, the Norwegian club. They looked okay in the Champions League qualifier or the playoff. I was actually able to see their game. But then it's like Sparta Prague, Sheriff, Sturm Graz. It's like I feel like those would be easier draws,
Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot of tough away days here for not just for like fans and stuff to get to, but like for example, Sparta Prague is going to be a tough away fixture to go to. Their fans are always top tier, and the same with sort of the lesser known countries teams, if that makes sense. But yeah, I personally want to get West Ham obviously because it's close enough to me that I can sort of get there. But yeah, I mean, I also have a friend who's for a West Ham supporter as well, so that works out for me as well. So it'd be good for us to
Rangers
get
would be
them.
interesting. Would you travel to Glasgow?
I would, yeah, I would try to at least. I don't know
Yeah.
what like the ticket allocation would be. I would try to go to like Aberdeen as well if we were to get. Is it Aberdeen that we can get? No, I thought Aberdeen was in it for some reason. Maybe I'm just
Wishful
completely missed
thinking.
it. Oh man,
They might be in
but
conference. I'm not sure.
I think they were like one of the teams that could have qualified but didn't end up qualifying. So, but yeah, we've got some reason the draw isn't starting. Let me just refresh this. There we go. So me and Chris have got the draw on another screen at the moment, and we'll keep you updated. But the draw hasn't taken place. They still do the sort of ceremony beforehand, so we still got a bit of time. We could just take a look at the pots here. If I were to ask you to make a prediction, Chris, just off the cuff prediction, who do you think the group's going to get? What group we're going to get? What would you go for?
I'm gonna go for. I mean, I think as they're organized, on the screen is the seating order.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all, every team is listed in order. So in theory, if you're drawing from the bottom of the pot, your draw is going better. So I don't think our pot 1 draw is gonna go like as good as it could because it never does. But I also hope that we are able to avoid probably just Liverpool. Honestly, I think that we can manage with any of the others. But I'm gonna go for Villarreal.
Okay.
A tough but accessible, I guess. I would say a team on our level, but could be easier.
Yeah.
Villarreal, Sporting, uh, Maccabi Haifa. How about that for
Yeah.
an away day? Israel. And then I'm gonna go pot 4. Shout out someone in our comments actually who said that Toulouse was their local away day. So
Oh yeah.
I'm low key pulling for them.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember Sporting playing Toulouse. So that would probably be the first.
Yeah.
Pop 4 doesn't scare me as much. It's just it's a lot. It's just tough away days. Ike Athens, Panathinaikos. I don't know about Rakov Czestochowa because their stadium holds like 8K, so I don't know if they're even gonna play there. But yeah, I'm pulling for Toulouse, low key, which is in theory one of the harder teams in Pop 4, but
Yeah.
us Sporting Uses outside of Portugal deserve our local away days, you know.
Yeah. Facts. If I was just go on a guess, I reckon we're going to get Atlanta, and obviously we're pot two Sporting. And then I'm going to go. I reckon we'll get. Is it Sturm? Sturm is it Austria?
Yeah, it's Austrian club.
And then I'll follow the same, and hopefully we get Toulouse as well for our Sporting fans abroad. But yeah, let me swap to the actual screen. So at the moment we've got Stefan and Bia carrying out the Europa League trophy. Obviously Sevilla winners, as they seem to be every bloody year. So
they got a tough group in the Champions League, or am I misremembering it?
They've got Arsenal. I can't remember who else was in that group though. From what I think it was Arsenal anyway.
Because I remember thinking, they're gonna. Oh, actually, maybe I was like, actually, their group is accessible, and I was like thinking, damn, they might not finish third.
I just feel like they're just going to try and finish third all the time.
Like, if they go through in second, like, it's almost like, damn, fuck, you fucked up.
So, Arsenal, PSV Lens, was it? Arsenal, PSV Lens, Sevilla. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like they should definitely go through second.
Yeah, they should, but, you know, I feel like they're trying for third, probably, right?
I mean, I wouldn't count out PSV either. I feel
no, it's a good side. It's a good side. And they just obliterated Rangers.
But I will say that I found I knew for quite a while, but I tweeted yesterday on the account the Sporting have the record number of appearances in the Europa League, record number of games, and the record number of games for the only team to not win it. Because behind us is Inter Milan with 190 games who have won the competition before. So yeah, we've played 193 games. Lietza's the top scorer with 19 goals. We've only reached the final once in 2005, where we lost to CSK in Moscow. So, you know, we're experienced, but not experienced enough in the competition, I suppose, to actually do any damage. But I guess the issue is that if we look at the teams now, there's still some good teams in the Europa League right now, like Liverpool, Brighton, but there's also the drop down. I think this is the last year that the teams dropped down to the Europa League because it changed to like the league format next year.
So, wait, that's not going to involve any drop down?
I don't think so. I think it could be corrected, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is it's just
it makes sense actually because there's more games too in the new format. I think, right?
Yeah, there's like I think either 6 or 8 games
that
people
play.
It's
6 now, so I think it goes up to 8 minimum. Maybe was what I
think it might be 6 minimum. So like if you get to I think it's the top. I think I say top 8 or top 6, you get a bye to the next round, and then I think the rest have to play each other or something like that. I can't.
I'm just not a fan of like groups when like you technically don't play all the other teams, or like a table when all the teams aren't technically 100% balanced. It's just a bit weird.
Yeah, and on the sort of while we're talking about news, I don't know if you've seen the Portugal squads have been announced yet, but
I actually haven't seen it. I know that Paulinho's not in it. That's the only thing I know about it.
The only Sporting player called up was Gonzalo Inacio, so no one else from Sporting got called up.
I was kind of expecting him to be called up. I truly didn't think Pot was going to be called up. He's been in the form of his life and not called up. So his like average to above average 3-game start to the season is not, or below average, I would say, is probably not going to be enough to get him called in.
Joao Felix called up despite playing 0 games in pre-season.
I was actually wondering
in the league.
if he was going to get called up, and I was like, this is actually a good opportunity for him to like use the spot on somebody else.
And also Pepe not called up for probably the first time in a while because he's not injured anymore, so just wasn't called up. They called up Totti Gomez from Wolves, which is someone I'm not really familiar with, but you know. But yeah.
Which Saudi boys got called in?
Ruben Neves and Ronaldo. I think that might have been it.
Okay.
Oh, and Otavio, I think, actually got called up as well.
And Otavio.
I've got it somewhere on my phone.
And the who's the third keeper?
Jose Sardio Costa Rui Patricio.
Okay.
I
was wondering if Rui Patricio is still gonna get those calls.
Someone, Dave, the Braga fan, he did make a good point that Mateo should have been called up as the backup goalkeeper. He's been very good the last sort of few years, whereas Patricio has sort of been on the opposite decline. But yeah, Polina getting called up, apparently going to Bayern Munich in a few hours for £55 million. So that'll be an interesting one. Yeah, there's not too many shocks in there. I just don't think João Felix deserves to be called up, to be honest.
No, it's really, really undeserved. Did the Benfica kid get called up?
Which one?
João Neves.
No.
Did João Mario?
No. The midfield is Polina, Ruben Neves, Otavio, Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, Bernardo Silva, and Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto's also
Pedro
a good
Neto,
one.
damn.
And then forwards, Ronaldo, João Felix, Rafael Leao, Ricardo Horta, Diogo Jota, and Gonzalo Ramos.
Wow.
It's a weird team.
No
but
Bruma either then.
No, but I guess we're playing Luxembourg and is it Estonia, I think? Or Slovakia, even?
It's Slovakia and Estonia, I think. Or maybe not Estonia. It's not Luxembourg because we already played them, I think.
No, it definitely is Luxembourg. I know
it definitely is.
September, but I don't know the other one.
We're playing the back half then.
But the draw is about to start. John O'Shea is here, picking up the balls, but he's wearing a green tie, so I'm sure it's for Ireland. But we'll take any sort of good luck chance.
It'd be a nice little away day as well. Dublin.
It would be. I've never been to Dublin actually, but I plan to. It seems to be very nice.
It's Slovakia and Luxembourg, which in theory are the two hardest teams in the group. Well, not in theory. They are the two hardest teams in the group based on the current standings.
I mean, it does feel like every year we play Luxembourg in a
and they're getting better. They're getting better. Like we've tracked their improvement in real time because we play them so much.
Yeah, that's true. But then I think Ronaldo's going to get an extra 4 or 5 goals this international break. He's been scoring a lot in Saudi, from what I see. So
yeah, he has been firing them in Saudi.
Try and see if we see. I see Hugo Viana in the crowd just then. Just a little.
Oh, you caught a glimpse of Viana? Let's go.
I did. He was right in the middle. Yeah.
Also, there is futsal Supertaça today.
Oh, is that today? Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on that. And Braga on the weekend on Sunday as well. So, going to be a tough week, I think, or weekend at least. But no, they still have not doing the draw.
And to be fair, the first pot selection really doesn't mean anything except just knowing what letter Sporting is because they're just separating them all. There's nothing's really being decided.
No, yeah, they've shown the confirmation of the pots. We're definitely in pot 2. West Ham United obviously
highest seed in pot 2, baby.
Yeah, highest seed in pot 2. West Ham.
I meant to bring this up, but I honestly forgot. I didn't even end up tweeting it out either. But so going into yesterday, because Rangers had already been eliminated, we needed Sparta, Prague, and Ludogorets to come back from behind, and Sparta Prague was down 3-1, and Ludogorets was down 4-1. And Sparta Prague actually came back and won the tie.
Oh damn!
4-1, and that's how they got through. They were down by 3 goals coming into this game, or it was 3-0. I think they won, so they passed through. And Ludogorets also won, but they only won 1-0, so it wasn't enough because they were down 4-1, so they still went out 4-2. But we ended up getting closer than I thought we were going to, So we moved up 1 spot to be we missed pot one by one team.
I will say that I'm very glad we don't have to play Marseille because they're in the same pot as us. Because after last year, I don't think I ever want to play Marseille again.
Yeah.
Or even Lats Glintz, who we played.
That's
like
actually
3
who
years
I
ago now.
also noticed that we were gonna definitely avoid is Last Glins, which is clutch.
I remember they smacked us one time in Europa League. But I'm just looking at the comments on this on StreamYard. So Pedro Vigas says he wants Liverpool, Freiburg, and Toulouse. I mean, definitely a hard one.
I mean, Liverpool. The one good thing for the Liverpool that would be bittersweet was like that would also be an accessible away day.
Yeah, and it's a good stadium as well, and good atmosphere as well. To be fair.
Ooh, they have that one stand under construction though, so presumably they'd be reduced capacity, right?
Yeah, I think so. Unless they've changed it.
That's supposed to be
like
done I don't know when that's supposed to be done.
It feels like it's been
or even this
going
season.
for a while.
I'm not sure.
Tiago Alex says he wants Rangers, Sheriff, and Hacken the easiest possible, and then put the prayer emoji. Felipe Paris says it doesn't matter who we get. I just want to watch Sporting in Dublin whilst getting my face plastered with Guinness. Yeah, and the rest were to do about the international call up. Nuno Mendes not called, or Mario Rui. How
has he not been playing?
I think he's injured.
Wow.
I want to say injured. I feel like
Classic.
he's got the injury bug at the moment.
He always does, low key.
And yeah, it's just crazy, I suppose, because he's a very good player, but I feel like even at Sporting he was injured quite a lot as well. But yeah, here we go. I think the draw should be starting any moment now. They've done all the sort of rules and regulations, so I'm hoping they're getting onto it sharpish. That's the one thing I hate about these awards, like these draw things. They just take so long to actually start.
I mean, to be honest, they used to not do it like this every single time, but now they do it like this every single time.
I do like watching like when they get something.
Because I actually do remember, like at one point in my youth, like waking up really early like this, 7, and then like it being like 15 minutes. And then, like, just going back to bed at, like, 7:20. But, yeah, those days are long gone.
Okay, the first ball is being opened. This is just the first pot, though. So, like you said, it doesn't really matter. I do like them struggling to open the balls. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
Oh, West Ham, number 1. Winners of the Conference League. I would like a trip to West Ham. That's literally about
overall seed as winners of the Conference League.
That's literally about a 45-minute journey. There's Hugo Viana behind Mark Noble there. If you watch that, but no, yes, it's about half an hour from me. But also, my London office is like 20 minutes on the tube from the Olympic Stadium. So Ajax, that's the team who I don't want.
No, Ajax.
Liverpool and Ajax for me, like I really don't want.
In theory, Ajax is a little bit weaker this season. They've just made a signing though, if I recall.
Yeah, but they just are always in for a surprise, and I'm still scarred of that Vinagre game, to be honest. And then Rangers next.
Are they just putting them into the order that they're coming out?
Yeah, they just put them in.
Okay,
in the group
so Liverpool. Wait, so
West Ham A. I think West Ham is A. Ajax is B, and then C is Rangers.
Okay.
I think that's the order it goes in anyway. That's Liverpool in D, I think. No, Liverpool in E. Okay, I don't understand that, but fair enough. I feel like we probably should have had the sound on, but oh well. There's Hugo Viana again in the background.
Let's go. He keeps getting on the shot.
I think he's got the hang of the balls now. He's all right opening them. It was just the first one. Villarreal next, Group F.
Are they just going straight into Conference League right after this?
Yeah. So I think they get these people to leave the room and get like the club officials in. There's no Portuguese teams in the Conference League, is there?
No.
So we're the only Portuguese team
They
in
both
Europa
failed
League.
to qualify.
So and Braga got a really tough group yesterday, so I'd be surprised if
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't get lucky in any way.
Okay, Roma. I think that would be a good draw against Roma.
Yeah, no, I feel like I mean, they've had a tough start to Serie A. Mourinho was saying, he was crying about not having enough signings towards the end of the summer. I think Roma's a little bit weaker than they were last season.
Yeah, and I think just the Mourinho Amorim sort of vibe would be pretty good. And last but not least, Bayern Leverkusen.
Which honestly, like, that's my sleeper. I think for like who I low key want to avoid. I think.
Yeah, no, they're a good team. They're very good. In a way, they would be difficult in Germany. I think, although we did beat Frankfurt away from home, I'm pretty sure.
I guess that would ensure we wouldn't get Freiburg, but I don't know if that's that good of a trade-off.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so here is the pot 2. This is where we're going to get drawn.
This is where it really starts to be interesting.
I'll try and make my screen a little bit bigger. There we go. So John O'Shea with the green tie.
With the green tie, yeah, I like the green tie.
Who is going to be first out of the pot? He's struggling with the balls. He's not ready. Olympiacos is first out of pot 2.
All right.
Now they spin the ball.
Take someone good off the board.
Oh no, they get spun. It's put in Group A straight away.
West Ham United gone.
So Group B is next is Ajax. So if we draw in here, so we get, I believe. So I'm hoping
it's a slightly different format then.
Yeah, I thought they used to spin the balls as well. Olympique Marseille drawn with Ajax. So that's I guess that's the tough group straight away, I suppose. Who was C? Rangers.
I think it might have been Liverpool, was it not?
I think it was Rangers and then Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think it was Rangers next. Wouldn't be too bad if we came out now.
Real Betis. Oh, no. So they get drawn with Rangers. And I'm pretty sure the next one's Liverpool. I
think it is as well.
Or is it Atlanta? Because I'm looking at the board there, and it looks like, I don't know. I guess we'll just react as it comes.
I'm thinking we don't want to see our name right now.
Oh no!
No! So I'm pretty sure
it's Atlanta.
Oh,
it's
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
All right. I mean, that's not great, but I mean, it's fine. It's better than Liverpool, obviously.
Okay. I guessed Atlanta as well. There's the man, Hugh Viana, chilling, looking fresh.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll take Atlanta. Good team, I think, but definitely not the worst. Not a Liverpool.
In theory, that's the second best draw we could have got from pot 1.
Yeah, but then we have to be on the lookout for pot 3 and Brighton.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, watch out. We might have to just completely redo the draw again.
Oh no! I remember they did that a few years ago.
Yeah, I guess there's always a 5% chance that none of this matters, and then we just have to do it all again.
I can't believe we would have got Juventus. No, I don't know if we would have won, but I mean, definitely had a better chance than.
Yeah, we would have had a chance at least. We really didn't have a chance against Man City.
No, Stade Rennes with Villarreal. I feel like Stade Rennes are actually a good team as well. I feel like they've done pretty well last year.
Slavia Prague has a lot of points, I'll be honest.
It is someone who I feel like I've seen quite a lot. Either that or when I grew up, I saw them in competitions quite a lot.
There they are, just coming out as well. I guess they really don't need to do the drawing of the pot because there's a lot less of the group letter because there's so many less countries or there's more countries represented, so there's much less chance of overlap. They might have to do it for the last two though.
Okay, yeah. Unless they just skip one and go straight to the next.
Yeah, because like there's an English team in pot 3, and like there's gonna be some groups that they can't be drawn into.
Yeah. So that is the end of pot 2. So in comes pot 3.
We are still at play for Brighton though.
Yeah,
That would have been, I guess, again a partial benefit of an English team coming out in pot 1, but
yeah. So Molde, Brighton, Sheriff, Union, Giliois, Freiburg, Sparta Prague, Maccabi Haifa, and Sturm Graz.
So we're in Group D?
I think so. Group D. So Brighton is one we want to avoid, but because there are 2 English teams straight away, I think they might go into Rangers.
Yeah, we got higher odds. We got higher odds.
Freiburg is the first team drawn out. So that's a good team for us to miss. So they go West Ham, Olympiacos, Freiburg. It's a decent group, I suppose.
That is a decent group.
Second ball is coming out. Brighton. So I think they go into Rangers group, I think.
Unless...
they go to Ajax. I forgot. Yeah, Ajax, Marseille, Brighton. Oh, that is. I think that's the group of death.
Because they skipped the West Ham group because they can't be drawn into that, right? Or no?
No, West Ham just got drawn, so it was just straight up. I thought Liverpool were the next one, but it was Ajax. So Ajax, Marseille, Brighton. That's
that very sucks for them.
Sparta Prague is up next. So they are drawn into Rangers, Real Betis. So in theory, Sporting's one is next. I don't think there's any overlap. So I think whoever we get is the next one out of the pot. Which is Union. That's one of the teams you didn't want to get.
Yeah,
Chris.
it's not. It could have been better. I would say our group is balanced at this point.
Yeah, it was Liverpool. I thought we were next. I'm so confused.
They probably explained it with the sound. So honestly, let's go.
Okay, I just tweeted that as well. So swift delete.
Let's fucking
Maccabi Haifa. Is that for us now?
That's gotta be for us.
No, that goes in F. I'm so confused. You know what? I'm just gonna let it play out. See what happens.
What was the conflict to not have that go into ours?
I have no idea.
Maybe we're not in D, but I thought we were.
Yeah, same. It's just the way they originally drew it out. Because I thought it was like, unless they do it in reversal, I don't know. Sturm Graz. Now, where are they going? There we go. Is that our group? Yes. So Sturm Graz.
Okay, that's good. That's a good draw. This is going pretty well. The lowest team in pot 3 and the second lowest team in pot 1.
I mean, it's difficult. I feel like it's a difficult away trip though. And then Sheriff from Ukraine, or am I?
No, they're from Moldova.
That's it. Yeah. AS Roma, Prague, and Sheriff.
Damn. All right.
These
mixed emotions. Thought we got Liverpool. Thought we got Union Saint-Gilloise. Got neither. Let's go.
Maybe we should have watched it with the sound, but you live and learn.
I feel like it would have been difficult to talk to each other if we had the sound on.
Yeah, exactly. But cool. That is the end of pot 3. So we move on to pot 4 in a minute.
And now this, honestly, I like our odds of this going pretty well.
Yeah, so far. I can't remember who's in pot 4, though. I don't know if there's a sleeper team in
No one really that could come out of this pot is going to make the group, significantly more inaccessible.
Yeah.
But at this point, avoiding Ike Athens is probably better.
Yeah,
and avoiding Panathinaikos, so the Greek teams maybe. But other than that,
Toulouse. I know we wanted to get Toulouse for
Toulouse is in theory one of the higher ranked teams.
Toulouse, Athens, and Panathinaikos. Maybe I
I'm
would
not really
say.
sure how Toulouse's team is this year, though. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I feel like maybe I'm just basing them on reputation, but I don't know. But again, I don't think there's any conflicts in our groups. I think we can actually get anyone. So the first one in pot 4 is Baka Topova. It's not one I'm familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them come through the qualifiers. They came from a pretty long way to get here. That's really all I know about them.
And the next one out of pot 4 even is AK Athens.
So that's an avoid.
They go into the group with Ajax, Marseille, and Brighton. That's a difficult group, you know.
That's a very difficult group.
Yeah, that's probably the group of death right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I'm sure Ike's not too thrilled about that.
Nah. Next up is Aris Limassol from Cyprus.
Always have Portuguese players on that team.
Yeah. So they get drawn into the group with, I think, is that Liverpool's group? No, Rangers. Rangers, Betis, Sparta Prague, and Aris Limassol. Next up is Jesus Rakal. I couldn't see what the next bit was.
It's Rakov Czestochowa.
So they're in our group. So that is the end of Sporting's group there.
All right, we got the Polish champions.
Rakal.
They play in a very small stadium. So I mean, the away day ticket allocation is gonna be tough because it's gonna be like 300. Capacity 5,500. God damn.
Man, that is. But I think overall, that is probably the best, sort of one of the best groups we could have got.
5% of that is 275 tickets. So, best of luck to you on that away day, being in those 300 people, because they're killing each other over 500 Braga tickets yesterday. So I mean.
But yeah, that is. I would say that's a good group.
I'm happy with that.
I will, definitely take that.
We got to get the coefficient points up. Not only just from advancing, but I mean, it'd be nice to get 4 group stage wins.
Yeah, when Benfica and Porto, I think Porto have a decent group. I feel like they should go through, but I think Benfica had the one that's maybe they could finish second, maybe they could finish third.
Yeah, I thought Porto got a decent draw.
But I guess Benfica had a really tough draw last year. They finished top, didn't they? They finished above PSG and Juventus, right? From what I can recall. It was PSG, Juventus, and then is it Maccabi Haifa? Was that their group last year?
That was in their group, Maccabi, yeah.
So yeah, that is the Europa League draw complete. So just to recap, we have been put in a group with Atlanta. Obviously, Sporting was the pot 2 in the group. So it's Atlanta, Sporting, Sturm Graz, and Racal. Chris, final thoughts on the draw, I suppose.
I mean, second lowest team in pot 1, lowest team in pot 3, third lowest team in pot 4. And then they're thinking we got the highest team in pot 2. So it's I mean, I think that it's really tough for it to imagine it could have gone any better. Yeah, I'm not looking past Rakow at all. I actually think that they're probably in the top half of pot four, but I mean, you have to get
Yeah.
somebody. Yes, have to be drawn with somebody, right? And you have to play a game no matter what, and it's never going to be completely easy. Especially in Europe. We all know we've seen Sporting lose in Albania. We've seen us lose in Hungary. So any of these teams can win a European game, especially when the Thursday night lights shine. Crazy things sometimes tend to happen.
Yeah. I
So,
was
but
just
all things
sorry.
considered, I on paper at least, I have to feel pretty good about it.
So I'm just looking at Atlanta's team because I'm just making myself more familiar. So they sold Hojlund to United, obviously this summer.
Yep.
Also sold former Sporting player Demiral to Saudi Arabia. Then a few others, such Jeremy Boga and Malinovsky left as well. But they signed a guy called Bilal Traore from Almeria, Skamaka from West Ham, Charles de Castore from AC Milan, and Kolasinac from Marseille. Among already players they've got Ademola Lookman, who you might remember, Martin de Roon, Coop Myers, David Zappacosta. I mean, it's an okay team, but if you were to ask me right now on paper, I think we have the better team than Atlanta as of right now. I don't know if you're familiar with Atlanta, Chris, but I feel like we're okay. They're currently in 8th in the Serie A at the moment, but obviously it's difficult to gauge the first few months of what the position is going to be. But do you think? I would assume that you would say that they're our biggest competition in this group.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we should be able to match up with them.
Cool. I'm just going to look at Strumgrass's team as well on Transfermarkt, see if I recognise any of the players, which I don't think I will. The majority of them are Austrian. There is a Scottish player in there though, Max Johnston, apparently 19 years of age. Fair enough.
Who were they? I'll look it up. Who was the Austrian champion last year? I'm assuming it was Lask, but I mean they
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at their team.
No,
I
actually
don't
it was
recognise any of them.
Red Bull Salzburg, which makes sense.
Of
and then
course,
and
yeah.
then Sturm Graz was second and Lask was third.
Yeah, I'm looking at their team. The only player I sort of recognise is a guy who's on loan from Atletico Madrid called Javi Serrano, but again, he's only 20 years of age. I think I only know him from like Football Manager, so I wouldn't really count that as like a known player. Lastly, I checked Racal.
They almost made the Champions League. I mean, I'll be honest, like they were pretty close to making the Champions League.
Yeah, but if for some reason transfer markets decide not to work for me anymore, I've got the 502 bad gateway, so it's like we'll not be looking at Racal. Okay, wait, I think that's done it. Trying to, if I go, bear with me 2 seconds. Squad, full squad details. No, apparently, oh, there we go. Again, not recognizing anyone here. No name that screams out to me. Yeah, to be honest, I don't recognize a single player. So yeah, I mean, I guess like you said, this is probably the best draw we could have got right now. Robin says that he watched them play PSV in the Champions League. Should not be anything to talk about. To be honest, they play horrible. But yeah, Dark Angel of Doom says Racal is a very good striker, and he also says we need to pass the group. But I
Also,
guess
this town in Poland is like the Fatima of Poland. Like there was like a visit from Our Lady there. So they may have the power of God on their side in the home leg, at least.
Yeah. But I guess that's everything, unless you can think of anything else to add to this.
No, I mean, now it's time to get on Twitter and see if anyone finds anything interesting. I think the most interesting thing is the fact that their stadium holds 5,000 people. Like that's crazy.
I will say before we go, can I get your prediction for the Braga game, please?
Oh, okay. Sporting's gonna keep it rolling. 2-1 win. Goals from Paulinho.
Yep.
And the second goal will be from Pot. He's gonna open his account.
Okay, I will say at the moment you are currently in second place, 1 point behind Richard, and you've both guessed the score of 2-1. You've gone for Paulinho Pot, but he's gone for Paulinho and Gyökeres. I've gone for a 3-1. I've gone for Paulinho, Gyökeres, and Nuno Santos. Danny is yet to put in his prediction, but I'm sure he will before Sunday. I'll just finish reading up the last of the comments. We're in a very decent group. We can pass first. Jack says, I'm sure the post will be tough. They fight hard for every ball. And Dark Ninja Doom says, Joseph Font versus Gyökeres is going to be nice to see.
There's a major advantage to winning your group versus coming in a second, right? You don't have to play a whole elimination round, right?
So second play against
the Champions League dropouts,
Champions
right?
League.
But if you're first, you go through automatically, right?
Yeah, correct. You get a bye, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we should definitely be looking to win the group and getting that bye.
Yeah, so Footface is 4-1 and a 16-point group. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be Atlanta, especially away from home. But from what I've seen with Sporting this year, I feel like we can beat anyone. And last year sort of proved that we can beat anyone, and we can also lose to anyone. So yeah. But I guess we'll end it there. Thank you, Chris, for waking up early, of course, for joining me. You can follow Chris on. Oh, that is the wrong banner. It is follow Chris on X there. Also follow myself on X there as well. Most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on Twitter. X now, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all those other good stuff. Thank you for watching again, and hopefully we shall see you soon. Peace.